Also on Super Mario Brothers Wonder News, Mom Brain, there's the talking flowers who I referenced in a story earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
You're familiar with them?
Mm-hmm.
You saw them in the demo?
I sure did. They're great.
Well, modders got a hold of the talking flowers, and what do you think they did?
They made them say vulgar things.
They made them say vulgar things. You know, there's one thing to be said for modders who make it say like F you and shovel and curse words. I can look at that and think that's funny. I can understand why Nintendo wouldn't think that's funny.
Sure.
But then there's also people who are modding it to say racist and homophobic and sexist things. And you're like, oh, come on, man. So Nintendo saw this and wasn't happy, obviously. And they went after the accounts that were sharing this content online. First off, Nintendo doesn't like anybody modding their game. Second, they certainly don't want them doing this kind of content where they're making the flowers curse or say racist or homophobic things. And people are like, why can't Nintendo just leave these people alone? Because there are, again, you have to think beyond yourself. There are people out there, there are parents who may see a screen or a video of a Mario game where the flower's saying F you to somebody, and they're like, what's going on? I thought Mario's for everybody. And it will never cross their mind that someone at home could go in and change the game to make it see that or make it say that.
Just imagine somebody taking like your likeness and making it say like terrible thing. It's the same thing. It's your reputation being manipulated by, and you have no control over it. So I totally understand. Like,
and I'm not saying Nintendo should sue them. I'm not saying Nintendo should get them in legal trouble.
Well, I think
but yes, I think
a warning.
Nintendo should. I think Nintendo is within their right to get the video removed. If you want to make that content and spread it around with your friends, or not get clout with it, just the dark corners of the internet, fine. But I can understand Nintendo being like, we don't want imagery out there that shows the flowers cursing and Mario in a game where there's this kind of stuff.
Or like saying something really horrible or,
Again, legal action, no. I think that's a step too far.
Well, I think it's not the first step, but I do think that if you don't stop, like they have to take some form of action.
Well, that's the thing. Nintendo's not even like giving these guys threats or sending them cease and desist. It's just they're going to like X or YouTube or Facebook and getting the videos removed or taken down.
Yeah.
So that's fine, I think. That's more than fine. When you get into legal and how much legal issues there are and what the punishment should be, I'm not going to say it's completely wrong, but how harsh do you go? I don't know. But yes, on a very base level, I can understand Nintendo not wanting this stuff there and getting aggravated seeing it, especially because modders were doing it before the game was released publicly. And when you're going to have a groundswell of coverage for the game online, especially on social media leading into launch, people will be scrolling through or searching for Mario and getting things that have the flowers cursing or saying other horrible things. So I get it. We know Nintendo hates modders in general. That I don't like about Nintendo. But as Mom Brain said, when they're taking something that they've created and showing it in a light that could hurt their product or their IP,
just in general doesn't align with their values, like it doesn't have to even be like vulgar or whatever. It just does. If it doesn't align with their values, then they have a right. Well, even if it does align with their values, they have a right to say
legal right, sure. But you're getting into more gray area now because Mario could be like, I like pizza, and Nintendo's like, he doesn't like pizza. Take that down.
Yeah, sure.
And legally, could they do that? Yes, because it's their IP. But then you'd be like, oh, this is a little bit too much.
I could also argue that you might be able to draw some kind of a line between scenarios where they're protecting just themselves and scenarios where they're looking to protect vulnerable people like kids and whatnot. Like, we have to take action because we need to protect children from experiencing this, or families or whatever, vulnerable people, versus, if he's saying I like pizza and they're like, no, because we have a deal with, I don't know, like a spaghetti company, Chef Boyardee.
Please tell me a spaghetti company.
Chef Boyardee.
Berea.
Olive Garden.
A Chef Boyardee would be the one to go. It doesn't get any better than that. Hi, Storbus Corvin, and I'm reading in a chat that they. Oh, never mind. So yeah. There's all kind. It's an interesting discussion to have, but I would hope most people could agree that Nintendo would not want that content out there where it shows the game saying offensive things because they don't want Mario or any of their IP shown in that light. So it is what it is, but they're going after these videos and getting them yanked. JD Gamer 8300 says, I heard some of those funny social media featuring edited content for the Super Mario Brothers Wonder game have been unfairly, wrongfully removed, blocked by some actual Nintendo workers, and are internet trolls masquerading as Nintendo workers because they do not like watching internet memes of games, movies, television, etc. I will say some of my friends and I enjoy looking at several social media posts containing funny Super Mario Brothers Wonder memes and found several of them very funny. Oh yeah, I found some of them funny too, don't get me wrong, but party wants to be like, Nintendo, you can't take a joke, but it's their business. Like, it affects their bottom line, their characters, their IP, how they're seen. Because while you and I might know it is 100% not Nintendo doing this, and it would be unfathomable for Nintendo to do this, there are others out there who will see it and think it's real. So